Next up, to keep me occupied, the Nano Talon. I did not build this. MRO, Mind Robotics, built this. I bought it with my first coronavirus check in 2020 when I started to get back into drones. I've told this before, I'll say it again, it came in the door. I was expecting a mini Talon-sized airplane to come in the door. It didn't. It was this Nano Talon. Not that I hate the Nano Talon, I just had expected a mini Talon, so I was a little disappointed. So I immediately got right up on the internet and started searching for a place to buy a mini Talon. It took me 6 months or more to get one in the door here, but there were some little problems with this. I don't know. MRO could have shipped it with Plane 3.7 on it. And I may have upgraded it to the current version 3.8 or above soon after I received it. I bet I can go back and find out the truth to that. But its stabilization was exactly backwards. And between Plane 3.7 and 3.8, the setup for a VTEL was actually changed. Connections 2 and 4 were actually reversed at that time. And when I reversed those two connectors on this controller board, everything worked like it should. I did send a nice message to MRO and videos of what was going on just so they could help me verify it, verify I had it working, tell me I was a dummy, that with the 3.7 that came on it, it would have been perfect had I not upgraded it. I didn't get a single, nothing back from them. No help whatsoever. So that kind of sired me on MRO. And I had also bought a Caprahenia 2 and an MRO flight controller to go in it, which I have not put in yet. I still have the Caprahenia 2 to build. But all of that did sire me on MRO, and they started rumoring another COVID check, so I just decided I was just going to get back into drones myself instead of buying pre-made stuff. And so I just set this aside. It's never been flown to this day. Because I had so much trouble with it and was sired on it, I set it aside to build up a mini Talon the way I wanted to. And there were a lot of things went on in 2020 and 2021. I had never had Crossfire, a Radio Master radio, Maytech flight controllers, all sorts of things transpired in the last year or two, to the point where you've seen me fly my first drone airplane that I built with my own hands successfully. Now I've got the Skyhunter ready to do that exact same thing, and not having any more polishing I can really figure to do on the Skyhunter, I figured I would either move on to this, or also on the back of the bench back there you can see the Sonic model mini Skyhunter in a box with all the parts are actually on top of the box up there. I've got that to build, and I've got a whole second Skyhunter in the box to build up to. But I think I'm going to go ahead and configure this and fly this one very soon, along with the other two that I have. And again, now that I've flown my own that I built with my own hands, flying this one that somebody else built will just be for fun. And I, of course, won't be as jealous of crashing it, etc. Now that I've found the Maytech flight controllers, I'm kind of sired on MRO flight controllers too, and I used Pixhogs and APMs, and MRO is one of the partners from the old 3DR Robotics that made all of that stuff originally. So I was really excited to find that at first, but then due to problems with this and basically just not having an email answered, one single email answered. That's the way I'm going to spend a little bit of my time over the next 3 days, in addition to doing my checklists and maybe playing with the crossfire on the Skyhunter. This has an MRO flight controller in it. There is no OSD. I imagine I could do telemetry. But as I work this up, you'll see that's kind of a little bit of a problem too. I'm just going to build it up for a straight flyer, fun flyer, so to speak. I think it will be fine. I don't see any problems. I'm not real thrilled with the Nano Talon. My biggest problem with the Nano Talon is the way these servos all work, especially these two for the ailerons, where this servo goes back and forth. Similar, because it's using two sides of the servo to a Y connector and two servos. But there's this plastic linkage that moves the ailerons that I really don't like. These, everybody says the push rods flex because the run of the push rod is so long compared to its diameter. And this is the MRO flight controller. Right behind it's a Crossfire Nano receiver going out to this antenna. There is a video transmitter right here with the clover leaf antenna down underneath the flight controller. Unusual, but I guess it'll work. I have to hot glue that back down. It's a little 5.8, and there's a little camera right in the nose. Now, I much rather have pan and tilt so I can look around every so often and see what kind of traffic's around me, but that's not going to be possible on this one. There is a GPS inside this cover right here, and this is also the airspeed sensor with the PDOT tube here on the top, and the GPS is right in here. Let's see if I turn on this light. Yeah, see right through that hole, you can see the top of the GPS in there. So, you know, these things cost twice as much now from MRO. This one was $450, and now they're getting $900 for them. But rather than throw it away or sell it, boy, if I could sell it for $900 and when I only paid $400, that would be pretty sweet. I could even sell it for $800. But I think I'm just going to fly it. It's not that bad. This is a 915 megahertz telemetry antenna. This is 915, so I've got to go in, and I bought the 433 radio, but I've got to go in right there and replace that radio right there, and I think I will be fine after that, having 433 back here and 915 on the control radio up here. So I may convert it over to Dragon Link at some point and do away with that secondary telemetry radio after I do all my experimentation with Dragon Link. So that's what's up next. We'll see how we can do with this. Thank you all. Have a good one.